Hey everybody, and welcome back to Let's Play The Legend of Zelda, the Ocarina of Time, with me, Rock Paper Mario. Now, my numbers of seeds and rupees and things like that, they may be different, just because I'm actually recording this on a different day, funnily enough. If you want to know why, it's because I got up to the part where the Deku Tree gives you the Kokiri's Emerald or whatever, and Pinnacle kind of freaked out. So I had the audio for that part. I had the audio, like not the game audio, but my commentary. I had that, but I didn't have but it had just kind of stopped recording there, like just be. So basically, I have to record like this part, just one part over again, which isn't too big a deal. That kind of way. But it's just annoying because I kind of liked my commentary that I did and stuff like that. But you know, these things happen. We can't do anything here yet. There's actually a Skulltula behind that wall. But we have to come back and get that with bombs. They're actually, do you know, like the Goma larvae or whatever, they're actually in that room, but I've never seen them personally in that room because I never spend enough time in there to actually see them. It's kind of crazy. But yeah, I mean, Pinnacle freaked out and I have to record this episode again, but you know, it's no big deal. It's no big deal whatsoever. Especially since all I had to do was play through like the first 2 minutes of it, like 20 minutes of the game again. It's like, but yeah, so today is what day is it today? Today is Tuesday, the 24th of June. And what am I going to say? Oh yeah, whereas like the last time I recorded this was sometime last week. I just want to say thanks a million for the warm reception that you've given this LP. I'm really looking forward to this one. It's just going to be so fun. It's just going to be such a laugh, I don't know. I'm just really looking forward to it. I love LPing these kind of classic games that I've spent so much time playing. I don't know. And what I love about this game, what I was talking about, was just kind of the... I'm not sure whether I started talking about that in the last episode or not. Come on, shoot me. Shoot me. Oh, thanks. Thanks a million. Oh, I forgot. I forgot you had to chase the last one. But, what I was talking about is just how impressive the graphics are in this game. And how, like, if you look at this from the point of view of that it's the first... It's the transition to 3D for Zelda games, do you know? Okay, not this again. The last time when I played this... This is just... Don't let this happen again, you fool. There we go, that's how you do it. How did you know our secret? How irritating. It's so annoying that I'm going to reveal that the secret of Queen Goma to you. In order to administer the coup de grace to Queen Goma, strike with your sword while she's stunned. Oh, Queenie, sorry about that. I was just going to say, like, that you can tell that, like, I don't know, like, I'm not sure, I can't imagine it from the perspective of someone else who didn't experience the transition from 2-dimensional to 3-dimensional gaming like I did. But for someone like me, who had played the Sega Mega Drive as a child and the Super Nintendo, and then got the PlayStation and the N64, and suddenly there were games like Spyro and this and Zelda, whatever, that are in 3 dimensions, that look like this, where you can have these kinds of atmospheres. Like, I just remember the atmosphere of this room, like, coming in here and being just struck by the atmosphere of the fog and the pillars and everything, and it's just amazing. And you really can tell that they put a lot of, like, you can tell by this first half hour of the game. I'm just going to pause just to, like, let you know. Just to, like, say what I want to say while I have the chance. They really take advantage of the whole 3D thing. Like, when you first of all, there's that whole Navi thing, where Navi is going through. That's just, like, experiment with, like, showing off the 3 dimensions thing. When you first awake as Link in your room, you stand up and there's a top-down perspective, if you remember. And then, that's the way Zelda games used to start, with a top-down perspective. And then you go out, and suddenly you're in 3 dimensions. And they really make a big deal out of that. And they're doing it just right now. We can see the boss up there. But in the Deku Tree then, it's all about ups and downs. It's a vertical dungeon, just to make a big deal out of the whole verticality of the place. And now they're doing it just now again, by making us actually look up to the ceiling, which is something you could never do in a Zelda game before, to actually see the boss. And I think it's amazing. Like, it's not amazing, it's just, like, I'm not sure whether people would see it in that way anymore. Hey, Goma. I remember being terrified of Goma when I was a child. I just found Goma thing. What are you doing? I'm freaking out. I remember finding Goma just terrifying as a child, just because it's a scary big spider, and because I wasn't sure I'd be able to beat her, or that kind of thing. But, okay, Goma, where are you? Come on, I don't want to have to fight your children. Usually, I don't have to. Did you hit her already? Okay, well, look, there's nothing wrong with actually having a proper fight with Goma, I suppose. Let's just try and get these eggs, before they actually hatch. Okay, where are you? Come on down. Oh, you scared me there, Gomi. Queenie. But they make a really big deal out of the verticality of the whole thing. And, like, that's something that you could... Oh, are you serious? I'm just making a big cock-up of this fight now. Come on, at least I'll be somewhat far away from her now, so I might be able to hit her from the ceiling, because that's usually what I'm able to do, is just... There we go. That's what I'm usually able to do when I get her in 2 goes. But oh well, she's dead now. She's dead now. And the thing is, like, you couldn't have vertical dungeons in Zelda games before. Well, you could, in that you had multiple floors, but they just... Do you know, like, there's that dungeon in Link's Awakening, that's what springs to mind first of all, that one, the tower, and there's a tower in Link to the Past or whatever, but it's just they still don't work on 3 dimensions. They have different floors and whatever, and they kind of work in 3 dimensions, but not really, if you know what I mean. And it's just like, I can see how someone who didn't experience that transition to 3D gaming well, not appreciate, but maybe can't see how big it was at the time, to be able to have camera angles, and to be able to have cinematography in video games on a scale you couldn't have before. I don't know. Well done, Harry! Thank you, Harold. Or, thank you, Deku Tree. Look at him with his big mouth. Do you know? And I think that's why this game has cemented itself so much, like Final Fantasy VII has as well, is because it was, like Final Fantasy VII, it was that transition to 3-dimensional gaming that just people hadn't experienced before. I don't know. Thou hast verily demonstrated thy courage. I knew that thou wouldst be able to carry out my wishes. Ha ha ha! Now I have yet more to tell ye. Wouldst thou listen? Why, of course. I'm always up for a few bedtime stories by the Deku Tree. Now, listen carefully, a wicked man of the desert. An evil Maharaja cast his dreadful curse upon me. Hopefully Pinnacle doesn't freak out this time. It'll be fine. Like, look, this kind of stuff you couldn't have in games before. And, like, the thing is, the transition to 3-dimensional gaming was and still is the greatest transition that has ever been made. Like, the greatest, development in gaming, I think. So, and it hasn't been, I don't know, like, obviously there were other big developments before, like the arcade gaming and home gaming, like the rise of home gaming and things like that, like home consoles and handheld gaming and things like that, but I don't know. This evil Maharaja ceaselessly uses his vile sorcerer's powers in his search for the sacred realm that is connected to Hyrule. For it is in that sacred realm that one will find the divine relic, the Triforce, which contains the essence of the gods. I love this cutscene. It's just so impressive. I don't know. Before time began, before spirits and life existed, 3 golden goddesses descended upon the chaos that was Hyrule. The other way the rain changes direction here. Din, the goddess of power. I always see it as that they're going so quickly that they're going faster than the rain. I don't know. And Nairu and Faeror, the goddess of courage. And Nairu's the goddess of love. And now they're this is basically Hyrule's creation story. As told by the Deku Tree. Deku's Digest. Din. With her strong, flaming arms, she cultivated the land and created the Red Earth. Nairu poured her wisdom onto the earth and gave the spirit of law to the world. Like, look at that sky. Like, you couldn't see the sky in Zelda games before. I know I'm making a big deal out of this, but it's just like, I'm trying to stress how cool it is. Faeror, with her rich soul, produced all life forms who would uphold the law. I love the transition in the music here. Like, from kind of that ethereal, minery, kind of mysterious music to this really positive, glorious kind of music. Since then, the sacred triangles have become the basis of our world's providence, and the resting place of the triangles has become the sacred realm. Oh, Deku Tree, no one can play him like you can. And nobody will. Thou must never allow the desert man in black armor to lay his hands on the sacred Triforce. Thou must never suffer that man with his evil heart to enter the sacred realm of legend. That evil man who cast death curse upon me, and cut me with his death bag, and sapped my power. Because of that curse, my end is nigh. Though your valiant efforts to break the curse were successful, I was doomed before you started. Yes, I will pass away soon, but do not grieve for me. I have been able to tell you of these important matters. This is Hyrule's final hope. Oh, the Deku Tree. Harry, go now to Hyrule Castle. There thou wilt surely meet the Princess of Destiny. Take this stone with you, the stone that man wanted so much that he cast that curse upon me. This is like where Pinnacle freaked out the last time. And it's a shame, because like, I went on again about how impressive the graphics are in this game. Like, I always get impressed by N64 graphics. Oh, that was a message. Those of you in the know what kind of message, exactly what kind of message that was. Sorry, I'm gonna have to reply to this message. Just like... Okay, I'm back from replying to my message. I was just like talking about like how impressive the graphics are in N64 games. Like this game and Majora's Mask and games like Banjo-Tooie and stuff like that, they just constantly impress me. Like if you look at like the way the emerald is all like translucent and you can see through it and stuff, it's like that's impressive. I don't know. I don't know. It's just like, yeah, whatever. The future depends upon thee, Harry. Thou art courageous. Navi the fairy, help Harry to carry out my will. I entreat ye, Navi. Goodbye. This looks so cool. Wait till you see this. As if you haven't seen it before. It's just like this. It just looks amazing. That's the end of the Deku Tree. And Navi's so, like, sad. I picture Navi being just so sad, like, just like, let's go to Hyrule Castle, Harry. But she's all like, yeah, well, let's do this thing for the Deku Tree. It's so silent as well. It's just like, I don't know. Goodbye, great Deku Tree.